Last year, I was fortunate enough to go along to Remembrance Sunday with Blesma. Actually being part of the parade at the cenotaph was incredibly emotional and incredibly emotive, and it just brings your mind straight back to colleagues and friends and people that you know and have lost. And it brings you back to history as well, you know, the First World War, the Second World War, and how important these things are and how important it is that we shouldn't ever forget them. I'm Lexi Chambers. I'm an endurance athlete and former signaller in the Royal Signals. My army career was quite short, really, in comparison to other people. I was in the army for about a year. Unfortunately, I'd ended up with injuries to my feet, which meant that I was in excruciating pain all the time. So basically, I had different parts of my foot taken off. I had many, many surgeries, and it got to the point where I had one of my toes taken off. So it was my third toe that I had removed. And I said to my other half at the point, if this doesn't work, the pain was so high at that point, it was about an 8 out of 10 all the time. If this doesn't work, then I just want my leg off, so that and then I can actually, you know, rejoin society, rejoin my normal life, and actually get a bit of life back again. So I decided to have the amputation following 8 surgeries. The actual procedure itself was quite tough. It was quite painful, but for me it was almost like a therapeutic type pain, because the pain that I'd had before, which we now discovered was complex regional pain syndrome, the pain level was so high that this pain was nowhere near it, and it felt like a healing pain. So it was a better type of pain. I can honestly say wholeheartedly that, like, literally, I don't think I'd actually be here today if it wasn't for Blesma and what they've done for me. The help came in many different forms. So they helped me with pain by putting me on a pain course, which was amazing at the time because I had no coping mechanisms at all. They helped me with independence by putting me on a driving course. I didn't drive at that point, going along to appointments with me, things that I didn't know how to navigate through the benefit system and things like that. It's a very, very strange thing when you meet up as a group, and it's literally like walking back into the barracks again. And you've got people that understand where you're coming from because everybody's ex-military and everybody has that shared experience of being an amputee as well. So it's almost a double camaraderie. It's absolutely phenomenal, and it's such a lovely place to be and such a lovely environment to be in. Doing John O'Groats to Land's End it's something that I've always wanted to do. So when I first became wheelchair dependent, it was one of the first things I said when I left hospital. I was wheeling around the kitchen and I just turned around to my other half and I said, I wonder if this wheelchair can make it that far. And she kind of looked at me and went, oh no, here we go. She knows what I'm like. Once I get an idea in my head, it doesn't tend to disappear. So I spent the last few years training for that and trying to make it happen. Actually doing it was about 90% harder than I had ever anticipated. The hills are a lot higher than I ever thought possible. We're talking sort of 20% climbs that you've got to get up, and using a normal wheelchair is very, very tough. Obviously it's built for shopping, not sport. But I wanted to use this to show people what they can do too. So to show people that they've got kit there, that they can do sport in, that they don't need specialist kit if they don't have access to it. So if you've got what you've got, so you've got a pair of trainers, you can go for a run. You've got a normal wheelchair, you can go for a wheel. And that's one reason why I chose to do it. I'd ask anybody to donate to Blesma. They give so much and they do help so many people. And I'd say that even if you could just give £1, you know, the price of a cup of coffee, that's going to help somebody like me to be able to get out there, to be able to be independent and to be able to have support.